Welcome back for another video. It's Eharbad and it's Raid Shadow Legends. Now it's been a little bit of a time since the last video. I was traveling for a week and then last weekend I didn't have the motivation, shall we say, to do a video. I will probably do a separate video talking about the mighty Cursed City, as we've managed a full clear once more. There were a few kind of tricky stages, particularly stage 18. 20 was extremely tough. 14 was not great, but not the worst. 12 was kind of tough as well. And even 19 actually was reasonable in the end. There were a few kind of big shout outs. Snicktrack really helped me. Orn did a lot of good damage, good work there. Actually, Vagumkar really came in clutch. I haven't actually got mine booked, and would be even better if he was booked out. But the whole being able to remove a buff from each enemy, basically, if you are fully booked, that's 2 buffs, plus decreased defense and heal reduction. Really, really handy. And I actually found myself using the A2 quite a lot, just to give myself a big increased defense, keep me quite tanky. And obviously, a Drake doing fantastic work, increased speed, continuous heal, giving me a way of sustaining. Yeah, really, really, really solid team for this one. Actually, once they were built, felt pretty safe, to be honest. This, however, was absolutely atrocious. And it's partly because you need really good RNG on wave 2, and then wave 3 you need even more good RNG because you basically got to kill the Siphi, and you got to kill quite quickly through an ultimate death knight and a net crit, and it's just like that's a real horrible wave 3 with obviously double Rotos with the Siphi and then all this extra protection. It's like the worst Doom Tower waves, if everyone remembers. It was always 110 to 120 when we first got there. And it was always Siphi double Rotos. That's what everyone found really tricky because of those Rotos passives. And then they're like, well, how can we make that worse? Oh, let's add an ultimate death knight and a net crit to give them the most protection they possibly can. Oh. Anyway, it is what it is. Otherwise, what's going on? We've got the what tournaments we got? Not really anything right now. Let me just claim that reward. It was in the wrong place. I should have gone to the events. We've got the Community Titan event, and my basic approach was I kind of wanted to get the 3-star. I didn't do the summoning last weekend. I'm not fussed about getting the 4-star. I would quite like to get this top row here if I can, though. So 200 gems, 200 soul, tier 3 soul coins, a primal, and some chaos powder. Like, this is actually quite attractive, but I'm not like really going out of my way to do it. I think we will end up getting this legendary tome and the soul very, very certainly, because we're about to do some 2x void summons, and I think that will pretty much get us there anyway. So I think this is quite realistic as well. The only thing I've missed, obviously, is last week's summoning. I have been doing everything else. I have spent quite a lot of gems recently between PRCVC. I also did do the Dungeon Divers, which unfortunately has fallen off. It was the first Dungeon Divers in like 2 years that I've actually finished, because between doing the PRCVC and trying to get this goddamn 4 mythical chest plates, which I did 14k on Ice Golem plus 10k on Fire Knight, which I think I'm now down to 3rd in. I don't care about getting the skeleton. I've already done that epic fusion. I'd actually love to drop down to 6th place and get the gems, but it's not realistic. I mean, I'll be honest, they really need to update the Relentless you get in these tournaments, because no one cares about 5-star blue. We're talking about level 100 players. The majority of people that are going to be at the top here are either, end game or late game and are way past 5-star rare, or the spenders anyway, and they're going to be past 5-star rare in about 2 weeks' time. It's just like, it's completely pointless. They really need to. This should all be 6-star. And to be honest, this now should be 6-star legendary, because we just don't get enough opportunities to get legendary and now mythical 6-star relentless. So this really isn't helping anyone. It's just, they just don't bother. They haven't looked at it. It's like, maybe this was relevant 3 years ago, but the game has evolved so much since then. And relentless isn't even the best set anymore, even for Hydra. Like, it was never the best set generally. But even in Hydra, there are, you just got Merciless now, which is just outright better. Anyway, what was I saying? I was kind of going off on a bit of a tangent there. Artifact enhancement done, obviously. Soulstone Rush. I'm interested to see what this looks like, because I do actually want to do something, but I kind of want to wait for another 2x event. So we'll see if we'll see what happens. And then on the actual champion chase itself, I'd probably, at the minimum, go for the 3,000 points for the legendary time. It is, even this is, if you end up pulling the Riho, this is actually quite attractive. And for some reason, my group hasn't gone completely wild. Let me load up my old spreadsheet. Where's my summonings tab? Let me see. There we go. And maybe I can share this. Right, so we're in the old summoning part of the spreadsheet. Let me just make that to void. Yes, we're sticklers. We have to at least do that, and then what were those thresholds? So we said, realistically, we're talking about, I'll leave that one in. It was around that, and then the first legendary tome was 3,000, then the points were 5,500, mythical tome 7,500, and then 1,000, 10,000 rather, for the tier 3 eternal. So we're looking at just 30 shards approximately to get the legendary tome, up to, say, 50 to 60 to get all of the points, and then the mythical tome and the tier 3. 97 shards, The problem is, we would rather get a guaranteed. It's really not worth this. I think we'll definitely do the first legendary tome, 30 shards. I think I have more than enough shards to be able to sustain that. And there's a possibility we'll go for the 50, because I actually have 250. So I think we might end up doing the 5,500. But let's just summon our first 30 shards and see what we get. 2 Hag. He's disappointing. Like, you feel like he should be better than he is. Like, you look at the the kind of skills, and you're like, oh god, you got like some TM steal, you've got decreased speed. It just doesn't work really like that well. Mostly because it's only a 50% TM steal, which, I don't know. I think it's because it's a 4-turn cooldown. It just doesn't work out that well. And then you got the AoE decreased speed, which in itself is a good skill. But for whatever reason, you put this together and he just doesn't feel that effective. And that's kind of the problem. Like, this should be good. You got 100% chance to stun for 2 turns with a TM steal and then an AoE decreased speed. He just doesn't feel that effective. I've tried him a few times, and he just ends up being a bit disappointing. But anyway, what have we got here? Exemplar, not really used anywhere. Padma, really solid champion. Very good for one of the Amius rotations. Faceless, that is I am the faceless content creator, and there's the faceless champion. Still a good damage dealer, single target for everything. Just it doesn't get any playtime anywhere, to be honest. Kind of needs a bit of a buff. Genbo, solid nuker overall. You end up, there's the power creep in the game so much that a pure damage dealer like Genbo really doesn't end up being used anywhere once you're kind of later game. And there really haven't been that many void Soulcross stages, so you don't tend to end up looking at void champions that much. Oh my god, are we gonna get 10 rares? We are. Jeez. Okay, well, let's see how we got on with those first 30 shards. Like I said, I think we'll end up doing we're slightly above what we were expecting. 30 shards was meant to net us around 3,100. We got 3,600, but actually I already had 300 points from mystery shards, so just fractionally above where we were. Let's do another 2 10 pulls, and then I think I'll save the rest. I think that's the strategy. And we have got legendary. Is it Riho? No, it's a dupe Gurgo. That is really disappointing. There's so many void legendaries I don't have, and we've ended up with a dupe. Does that even give me a faction guardian? Skinwalker. Isn't he Skinwalker? No, he's Ogun Tribe. Yeah, that's my first Ogun Tribe faction guardians, but that's so disappointing. That really is. How deflated are we? We need basically 130 more points. I will probably end up doing them in mystery shards as part of the remaining. Where's it? Damn thing. There's so many. We go champion training. So we've still got about 2,000 points to do in here to get our mythical tome here. So I think I'll probably save the remaining void shards, cut my losses. I've got my legendary. Mercy has been reset, and it is a deeply disappointing champion. Like I said, if we go through, it could have been, look at all these. I don't have a single void in Bannerlords. Here, I do actually have Supreme Elhain. I just haven't summoned her. Less exciting. We then got 5 non void champions I don't have in Sacred Order. Only one actually in Barbarians. Even in Ogren could have been Togron or Bellator. Lizard, Krisk, Jagor, Sulfurian. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. None here. Warlord, Angkor, Supreme Gale. Like, it's kind of crazy. How could I end up with a dupe? It's not the only dupe void legendary I've got. That's what makes it even worse. I tend to have the worst ones. So the other one I have a dupe of is none other than Whirlim. It's like, again, look up. I have so few void legendaries. My coverage is so little. But anyway, we didn't get the Riho. It didn't happen. The 10x was not in our, not didn't go for us. Basically, we'll leave it at that. Right, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to do a quick one with the summons. Like I said, in another video, I'll probably go through a bit of Curse City, and I might do a arena video. I'm finally getting myself to gold. I might finally get there. I'll actually do some fights after this video. It's been a very slow hog. I've still only done 562 battles ever. I just hate the game mode, but I am getting there. Bit by bit, gradually, one day at a time. All right, anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.